Evening, it's Jamie.
There you go.
Theme tune, sir. I was enjoying that.
Yes, well, never let it be said that we don't listen to our fans forum. By all accounts, that is the go-to. So we've done it. We've changed it over, and
got my vote.
Yeah, and we've got a new tune for the top players to compensate for a change of main theme. So
good Lord,
disgraceful behaviour. Progress. What's all that about? Absolutely scandalous. Yeah, I mean, obviously, lots to talk about in terms of round 11. Quite quiet, really, on the Super League front. Not an awful lot of news being bandied about at the moment, is there? It seems
the usual gripes about the disciplinary panel.
Yeah,
a couple of Huddersfield and Hull KR players are sitting out the semi-final.
Yeah.
The story that kind of surprised me this week is the amount of players who are out of contracts at the end of this season.
Huge.
All clubs with some big names.
Yeah.
I've got Jake Truman at Castleford. At Huddersfield, you've got Lutelli, Cudjoe, Cogger. Going down the list, Jamie Shaw.
Let's go through it then. So team at a time. Let's do team at a time. Let's go through them as you've got them in front of you. Let's have a little chat around that. So what we got? Starting with Catalan.
There's Castleford Tigers here on my list. Jake Truman, Greg Eden, Chase Blair, Daryl Alfords, Danny Richardson, James Clare, Sasaya Feki. You're trying to get me to say the names you can't say.
No, it's true. I mean, Truman. I think of the names you've just said, Truman's the one, isn't it? I mean, a lot
Kenny Edwards.
He's on loan from Huddersfield. In terms of Truman, I've heard this week, rumour mill, that Hull FC is a lot of rumour that he's
and he's going to get linked with Warrington, because every player that comes up seems to be linked with Warrington. But I'd be surprised if Castleford let him go.
Well, they'll fight tooth and nail to keep him. I think there's no question about that, is there? But no, Truman of that lot, definitely. Cass need to sign him up, or he'll be a prized asset for somebody. Who's Catalan? I think Catalan's got a lot of
Catalan amongst the big names: Da Costa, Dudson, Cassiano. Getting on a bit, but still does a job.
Yeah.
Samasoni Langi, Michael McAlorum, Matt Whitley.
Whitley's a big one.
Tompkins,
Whitley's a big one. Yeah, Whitley's in great form.
Yeah, Dean Ware, Fahujaya, Yaha. Can't even
Yaha. Fuhad sir.
Fuhad.
Yes, absolutely. Good evening to Alfie Such, Paul Anderton, Steve Cartledge. Good evening, gentlemen. Carry on, mate. Carry on.
So there we got the Giants. Ikahihifo, Latelli, Cudjoe, Ashworth Cogger, Ashton Golding, Joe Greenwood. Amongst the big names there, Chris McQueen.
That's a huge one. I think arguably Chris McQueen is and probably Favell at Wigan are the informed top second row of the season thus far. So Chris McQueen, without doubt, at Huddersfield,
had a great game the other night, Chris McQueen.
Which we shall see, sir. Which we shall see. But yeah, no, absolutely quality. Yeah.
At Hull, we got Josh Bowden, Cameron Scott, Danny Houghton. That's quite a big one. Josh Reynolds, Jamie Shaw, Connor Wynn, although he's got an option for 2023. At KR, we've got Albert Vete, Corbin Sims. Not so sure about Corbin Sims. I don't know whether he's had quite the impact they thought he might have had. Takarangi, Kenny Dowell, Lynette, Matt Parcell, who...
Kane Lynette's one. Again, second rower.
Yeah.
He'll be prized.
Parcell apparently looking at return to the NRL.
Yeah, and Jez Litton's got good evening, Ian Potter. Jez Litton's got an opportunity there, hasn't he?
Of course, yeah. With Rhinos, you got Reece Martin, Tom Briscoe, Alex Mellor, Brad Dwyer.
Dwyer. I mean, again, Dwyer, I think, has been linked with Hull KR, hasn't he?
Ray Costin and Zach Hardacre.
The one there's Reece Martin. I mean, I think arguably for Leeds, Reece Martin's been, again, we're talking about second row. I mean, unbelievable. Who'd have thought we'd be talking about second rows, but we are. I mean, another good acquisition, Reece Martin.
Yeah. And then the Red Devils, Elijah Taylor, Greg Burke, Andy Ackers, he's had a good season. Then Harvey Livnet, who I don't think has featured much for Salford at all.
He's been injured, mate. He's been injured, hasn't he? But I think Taylor, I think there was a lot made of Elijah Taylor when he came over. He's steady away, but I don't think he's had quite the impact that people thought he was going to have.
Yeah, yes. St Helens, James Roby, I think that's been
retired.
Yeah, I think that's been on the cards. Kyle Amor, again, he's struggling to get into the first team. Yeah. McCarthy Scarsbrook, Regan Grace. Now we both spoke.
I'm sure he signed on. I think they've got that wrong. I'm sure. Didn't he sign on for something like till 2024, 25?
Oh, sure. If there's any St Helens fans who watch this, though.
I think they've got that wrong. I'm sure.
I think they're wrong on that.
Tracy Wilson's with us again. Tracy's with us.
Tracy.
And Stuart Paul, good evening.
Matty Lees is a big
one. Matty Lees, that's a biggie, isn't it? That's a biggie.
Parsi, Matautia, although he's got an option for 2023. Conrad Horrell, though he said he's looking to return to the NRL.
I mean, certainly from a big prop forward perspective, there's a bit of bulk there that's up for grabs at this moment, because of course they can start talking now, can't they? They can start sorting the contracts out for next year. So there's a lot of quality there.
Very, very interesting, the news that's going on over the next few weeks about who's going where and who's staying put. With Toulouse, I mean, Guy Armitage, Ginny Vai.
You know what? So I think somebody will take a punt on Armitage. I think Armitage has been steady away for Toulouse. I have to say.
I do. Eloy Pelissier, I think he's kind of coming to the end of his career a little bit. Gadwin Springer, there's a name from the past. Gadwin Springer. Dominic Peru, again, I think another one who quite possibly might retire into Union.
Mm-hmm. For the easy life. For the easy life. Yeah, go on.
And then we got Wakefield, some big names here. Arona, Tupu, Fafita, Jacob Miller, Tom Johnston. You know, then James Batchelor.
Jacob Miller's been in great form.
Yeah, I think he's a good player. Tom Johnston, somebody. No, I don't want to disrespect the teams like Wakefield, but you know, Tom Johnson, you know, Bevan French at Wigan's up for his contract out of offer. Would Tom Johnson interest Wigan?
I'd be surprised if French extends. For the fact that because obviously they've tied Field down, I'd be very surprised if Bevan French was to stay on, I have to say.
Yeah. I mean, before we get to Wigan, there's a few names at Wigan who are out of contract. With Warrington, we got Stephen Ratchford, Josh Charnley, Jack Hughes, Mike Cooper, Riley Dean, who's just making a mark in the first.
I think they'll tie Dean up. It'll be interesting. Charlie will be an interesting one. Jack Hughes will be an interesting one.
Yeah, I mean, Clark, Matt Davis, Robbie Mulhern, Robson, Widdop. I think Widdop. Well, Widdop's I don't know.
I think Mulhern will probably sign Mulhern up, or at least attempt to. But I think the interesting thing there, you know, should Powell see out the season, I will say. But if Powell sees out the season, then I think there's going to be a lot of comings and goings at Warrington.
I think there's got to be. There's got to be. Again, and then Wigan, we've got Bevan French, James McDonald, Liam Farrell out of contract.
Nah, he'll sign on again. This
contract. Jake Bibby, Ethan Havard, he's got an option for 2023. Thomas Luluai, not sure about that one. And then Sam Powell. I'm sure Sam Powell will get snapped up.
I think Sam Powell will be extended.
O'Neill is doing really, really well for Wigan.
Sam Powell will extend. Farrell's going to be one of them, and he's going to be one. He's going to attempt to be a one-man club, and that's what he's going to attempt to be.
Very, very, very surprised if Farrell leaves Wigan.
Yeah. I mean, we're not really covering Challenge Cup too much, but I've heard that Lachlan Coote is out for KR, which is going to be a big blow for them. Have you heard anybody else that's out in them games?
There's a couple of suspensions in the Huddersfield and all KR games.
Yeah.
I've not heard of any injuries. I'm sure.
No, I'm not. It's been again not something that I've heard an awful lot about. Yeah. You'll have to forgive me. I think we both had a really busy week, certainly since the weekend. But no, like I say, I mean, should be two cracking games. We'll maybe have a little chat about the
we'll have a chat
a little bit later on. But I think we've got to go and have a quick look at round 11. Before we do, as we always do, we'll just take a quick look at the top performers from round number 11. So let's go and do that. Here we go. So there we go. That's the top performers. A bit of a Hull fest this week.
Yeah.
Hull FC plays in there. Hull KR. I think Ben Crooks, absolutely head and shoulders Ben Crooks this week in terms of meters made. Absolutely massive difference between him and the rest. It's about 100 meters difference. I'll just check as we speak. Yeah, closest to him was Ethan Ryan at 181, so 264 meters made from 22 carries. Good effort, that.
That's
good effort, that.
Yeah.
It's a great effort, that. From a centre, it's got to be said. Phenomenal display from Tyrone May. We'll have a look at the action in a minute. But Tyrone May, standoff as opposed to he can play. He can play fullback. He can play centre. He can probably play wing. But I mean, him and Mitchell Pearce really ripped it up.
Yeah. With Drinkwater being out, you'd have thought they may have struggled, but
no, we'll take a look. And an informed Castleford side as well, mate.
Yeah. Right,
you've got to say that it was a Castleford team who went into that game with a bit of form. Is it 4 on the bounce they had?
Yes.
It was 4 on the bounce, I think, before they went into that. So anyway, there you go. So let's take a look then to round 11. This is how it shaped up. These were the games. Wakefield, of course, took on the Huddersfield Giants. The Leeds Rhinos took on Hull KR. Then it was Warrington against Wigan at the Halliwell Jones. Saints took on Salford. Catalan took on Cass. And finally, Hull FC took on Toulouse. Fair to say, games we thought might have been tighter were blowouts, and blowouts turned into real tussles.
There were some real tight games, surprisingly tight games in this one.
I agree. I completely agree. Probably starting off with this one.
Me out of the water as far as predictions is concerned.
Yeah. Well, I think none of us had it away this week. If truth was be known, I think it caught us all out. But we'll start off with this little game here. The Wakefield Trinity, who, all of a sudden, Wakefield having had that little bit of a blast continue. No, don't get me wrong, not 14-12. It was a tight game, but problems at Wakefield.
I think I predicted Wakefield to win this.
Oh, now you're really catching me on the up.
I think I did, because I think Huddersfield had a lot of players out.
Yeah, I think we both went Wakefield, actually.
Yeah,
I think we both went Wakefield on this one. Yeah. But actually, the fans forum did go Huddersfield, as I recall. Good one, that, from Miller.
Yeah, I mean, it's a good player. I've always liked Jacob Miller. He's a good player, and, out of contract this season.
Yeah. And at this point, Miller, I know, we were saying this last week on the show, could they get it going? We didn't think Farge was going to be touch and go, and actually, ended up being man of the match, get it absolutely fantastic.
Lino in the opening 20 minutes was on fire.
Yeah, he was on it, wasn't he?
And then this kind of changed the game a little bit. This was...
Mate, Chris McQueen, 7th try of the season, that, for Chris McQueen.
Only one behind Charlie now. Charlie was running away with it at the start of the season.
He's doing really well. I mean, seeing a lot on the Huddersfield forums as well. The Huddersfield fans just absolutely blown away by Chris McQueen this season.
Yeah, I mean, maybe a bit weak defence there, but the power he showed is absolutely
exactly, mate. He's a beast. He's a unit. Isn't he? Welcome to Steve Wilson, Ben Poulton, Mike Ward, Jim Roberts with us as well. Good to have you along.
Yeah, this was a great move. A great move.
Yeah, I mean, again, they've got it in Wakefield to I mean, one for the cameras there. But yeah, I mean, they've got it in them, haven't they, to play expansive. I mean, we saw that at close quarters in the back-to-back games against Warrington. When they throw the ball about,
clever kick through. I don't know quite why. I think he was checking offside, wasn't he, when he went to the screen there?
Yeah. Danny Levy had a good game in this one as well.
He did. He grew into it.
Played well at Hooker. Again, a player that has come over and he's been very, very good indeed. Cracking little short past that. And there he is again, Luke Yates. Yates again.
No man from last season.
Mate, honestly, Luke Yates for me.
Yeah, you called it all last season. Luke Yates, and he's not letting you down this season either.
He's not, mate. And you know what winds me up again is Super League pick Morgan Knowles as the best loose forward around 11. I don't know what game. Sometimes it makes you wonder what game they watch, but
it's lazy. It's laziness.
Incredibly lazy.
It's lazy.
In fact, it says a lot. I don't think we've not had Morgan Knowles in our team the week all season. Now that's bound to get Saints fans wound up, but that's just life, isn't it? And there's Latelli as well. Latelli having a good season.
Yeah. And again, another one out of contract.
But no, Theo Farge in this game ran the show, didn't he? Absolutely.
Yeah, another one who grew into the game. I think the longer the game went on, the better he got. That's a cheeky little try.
Was a cheeky little try. I think this was a hard hit, wasn't it, at the end there from Miller on Levy. Don't know if Miller's going to get himself in trouble over that. I haven't seen the disciplinary. Have you seen the disciplinary this week?
Yes, I have.
Who's got the knocks then?
Let me just check.
Just check that out and let's have a look. Because I said that looked I think it looked legal, like, but it was bordering on a little naughty, is what I would say.
It was one that would probably be punished a lot harsher earlier on in the season.
Yeah, I agree. Shane Ambler's joined us. Good to see you, Shane. Sean Alan Spencer has come along for the ride as always. Good evening, Sean.
Yes.
Good evening. Sean, you might want to turn off in a couple of minutes because we will be reliving the debacle.
No, I don't think he did get anything.
So what was the disciplinary this week? Walk through that. Who got the bans?
Right, what I've seen is Arona from Wakefield, dangerous contract, no match penalty match penalty notice.
Fair play.
Jake Mamo. Oh, no, hang on. No, that's saying Jack Mamo, Warrington Wolves.
What are you doing, sir?
What is
my lord? What on earth?
Stuff info. That's internet in Warrington. It's 10 years behind everybody else.
It's a shocker. It's a shocker. Right, I'm going in. I'm going to try and save your blushes here now.
No, don't save my blushes, mate.
Go on.
I'm on it.
Are you on it? Go on, get on it. Because I think when I looked at it as well, there was a couple of Saints players up for it, and they got away with it, which was interesting. Sean's having right. Here we go. So Morgan Gannon's got a 2-match penalty notice, grade C. Matt Pryor also a 2-match penalty notice. So we're not going to be reviewing round 12 this week because it's Challenge Cup week. But when we get to next week, there's 2 players out for Leeds going into that. Albert Vete out for 2 matches.
Yeah, it was an OKR one, yeah.
Yeah, Jacob Miller Wakefield got a 1-match penalty notice. I don't know what that's for, whether that was that challenge.
I think he was that challenge.
Matty English out of the semi-final, grade B, 1-match penalty notice, dangerous contact. Ollie Wilson has got away with his, no penalties for him. Liam Kay, Wakefield 0 penalties. And Callum Watkins picked up a 1-match penalty as well. So that was the review panel.
I missed a lot of that, mate. The Wi-Fi must have dropped out here in sunny Warrington.
Must have done. But no, I mean, in the main, I thought I saw a couple of Saints players up. Yeah, they were.
They got away with it.
They got away with it. Yeah.
Hasn't a Wigan player been banned?
No.
Havard was up, and I think he must have.
Yeah, he's got away with it as well.
Yeah.
So that's interesting. So yeah, obviously we're not going to review round 12 tonight because it's Challenge Cup weekend. But yeah, couple of notices there. Be interested to see who Leeds have got in round 12. That'd be interesting to see. Whilst we're reviewing the next game, might be able to have a quick look ahead and see who that is. In fact, let's have a look at that. Who have they got in the next round? Leeds. Let's have a quick scan. Who have you got? Who have you got? You've got Salford away. So Salford there, 2 players missing. And Salford, to be fair to him, last 2 games, Wigan and then Saints. Mike Ward saying that Callum Watkins has now got away with it on appeal, I'm presuming.
Yeah. I missed that. He got away with it. He got reduced to a grade A, I think.
Yeah, fair play.
When you either I froze or you froze, mate.
Yeah, fair enough, mate. So he got away with that as well, so which is interesting. Right, then let's get back into it. Then let's go back in and have a quick look at the next game, as it were. The next game being, here we go. Oh, hang on. The Rhinos and the Robins. Now, this one took us a bit by surprise. I think we all went KR. The way that Leeds have been playing this season. A couple of surprises here. Probably the 0 as well. The 0 as well. That took a few people by surprise. I think, with hindsight, Challenge Cup on the horizon, maybe we overlooked that a little bit when we were doing the predictions last week. But, credit to Leeds. They've, they're all of a sudden pulled themselves right out of it, haven't they?
Well, a new coach on the horizon. So, maybe they're playing for the places. I mean, that was poor.
Yeah. They got away with one there, no doubt.
mean,
fortune favours.
Well, yeah, I mean, fair play. He followed it up. He was there for it, but that was poor play. Yeah. I think that was.
Forward pass, wasn't it?
Almost as forward as the 2 Wigan tries the other night.
Well, that's that. Yeah, I don't think we can blame 2 forward passes for that debacle, mate. If I'm being quite honest with you. But there's Mr. Gannon.
Look at that.
Yeah, just Gannon going in. It's poor defence, mate.
Yeah, it's poor defence. On the ball, just kick it out. Just do anything with it. Don't let it. Don't stop watching it.
But the point is though, we talk about the Challenge Cup. He picked a strong team.
Yeah.
We picked a really, really strong team. That's not good to see. Sam Wood limping off. Also, as well, Lachlan Coote
as well. Yeah.
Picked up a knock as well. So yeah, I mean, without question, it was a costly game for Hull KR. This one. There goes Ash Hanley. Of course, that as well was disallowed. A judge to have gone into touch. Yeah. Hanley not convinced by that. But yeah, the nil. I would not have thought for 1 minute that they'd have nilled them.
There's been tries in Hull KR all season. Is that no? That's not Lachlan Coote, is it? That's
it's Bodie Thompson, isn't it? Oh, in terms of who's down. I think that was Coote.
It was Lachlan Coote, wasn't it?
That was Coote. Yeah. Thompson, and again there, I think that was given us offside, wasn't it?
Tries disallowed from both sides there.
Yeah, and do you know what? Well, especially from Leeds, and in the end, the 12-0. It could have been a lot worse. A lot worse for KR. Morgan Gannon coming out with the accolades in that game.
And then did I hear correctly that he's got a ban for his troubles?
He has got a ban for his troubles, yeah. Some good attendances as well this week. When you look down the list, Hull over 11,000 at Hull to see Hull take on Toulouse Olympic. That was a result. Leeds over 13,000. St. Helens just a 12 short of 11. Warrington finally over the into 5 digits against the Wigan Warriors.
You'd expect slightly more.
You would at least another 2. Yeah, at least another 2,000, I'd say. Catalan 6,500 for them. Disappointment at Wakefield, only just over 3,000, which was a bit disappointing. I would say last week, without doubt. You'd expect better there, wouldn't you? But anyway, there you go.
Would. It's a kind of a local derby as well.
Yeah. Right, here we go. Painful for us, not for Wigan Warriors fans. Sky bigged this one up. I have to say, Toby King needs to be concentrating on his defensive work because he was absolutely shambolic on Friday night.
That first half, he was... There's only... Yeah. I think this is.
Again, he's fallen off that tackle, and it happens time and time again. Hello to Sonia Taylor was Fallon, who's now watching us as well. It's very important to say it was Fallon in the past. But yeah, I mean, Thornley. He's a big unit. Thornley. He's at full pelt there. But this was good from Riley Dean.
This was a great try from the young lad.
Good from Riley Dean.
And I do hope they wrap him up on another contract fairly soon.
He's shown a lot of promise, mate. There's no doubt. I think, he's done himself no harm. Don't know how bad this scratch to the eye is, how long that's going to keep him out for. But
because he didn't play for most of the second half, did he?
No, he didn't come out, did he? I don't think, second half.
The frightening thing for Wigan, for us, was that Jay Field didn't come out in the second half.
I know. But they've got French, haven't they? They've got French. French just slotted in. No dramas. And this is almost a carbon copy of the first, isn't it? I mean, again, look at that. Where's the footwork? What's going on? Pleased for Thornley. At Lee last year, come back to Wigan this year. Many people looked at it and gone.
We're commenting on weak defence there, but look at that. I mean, that's just good. That's just good use of it.
Absolutely, yeah. Yeah, I know. Don't get me wrong. I completely agree with you. And like I say, Thornley, I'm delighted for Thornley. Because
he's been out injured, hasn't he, for a while as well?
Yeah, but he's come back and he's
this was dreadful. Yeah. This was dreadful.
Yeah, again, left, right down our left edge. Yeah, it was poor. And but the thing here, though, like I say, those 3 tries very, very similar. They stood off field for me there, just tackling, getting tackled. And at this point, you fear for Warrington, but then they hit back, and good finish from Matty Ashton. He's been doing that all season.
Yeah. And at this point, when I'm saying poor, I'm saying it's poor from Warrington, not poor from Wigan. Superb from Wigan. As a Warrington fan, you've got to raise your hat to that attack from Wigan. These attacks.
100%. Oh, 100%. Wigan were different class, absolutely different class.
Spotted a weakness and exploited it.
And this is why I was disappointed with the Wigan performance against Saints, because I genuinely think that Wigan have got a genuine. This from Farrell.
Was awful.
Look at that. I mean, it's like, yeah, I'll just go the other way. Fair play to Farrell. It's a great try. It's very easy on the eye. Poor. I mean, again, poor defending.
That was the killer for me. That was the killer.
Yeah, no, I agree. That just took the wind right out the sails. Good line though. That angle shows it's a great line he ran in the first instance. Yeah, cracking. Good play. Good play.
At this level of play, you cannot fall off tackles like that.
No. And Mago, in the Stephen Ratchford testimony, did something very similar. He's a big unit.
For the Jay Field try.
Yeah, he's a big unit. You can't let him stand in the tackle. He's going to get the offload. And like I say, Farrell's line was a thing of beauty, no doubt about it. And then, of course, Liam Marshall. I'm disappointed for Fewless there. I mean, he's had a good few games, Fewless. These things happen.
Well, look at Sam Wood at Hull KR. He had an absolute nightmare first game, and then it's come back strong.
Yeah, I think the future's bright for Fewless, isn't it? Without doubt. And then, of course, Mark, again there, cut out ball. That's too easy. It's too easy. It's great play from Wigan. The defence is all over the place. They're pulling them left, right, and centre. They're creating.
Tell you the turnstile. It's untrue. He's been brought in to stiffen up the defence.
Style.
What a line. He asked for his ticket as he ran past him.
That's a lovely pass from Smith.
It is.
It's a lovely pass from Smith.
It is.
Very similar to the Farge one in the Huddersfield game. Just a lovely little short ball. That's just a lovely ball.
Again, the belts away.
The deliberate nature of the running. I mean, it's a strong run. It's like, right, give me the ball. You're not stopping me. Great finish. And then, at 40-10, Warrington try and make it look respectable. Danny Walker doing what Danny Walker does. Spotting the player on the floor. Sees the opportunity, there you can see player on the floor. There's going to be a gap, and he exploits it brilliantly well. And then your turnstile showed up as the often
goes when the game's over.
Yeah, to get the final try for Warrington on the night. And to be fair, took it well. Billy Magoulis hand off there, and around he comes, little gap, and through he goes. But I mean, Wigan, superb. I think if there's any team that is going to take silverware off Wigan this year,
off Saints
as well, it's going to be. I would say it will be Wigan. That said, I do think Catalan will get stronger as the season goes on. And I do think he will do. But having watched Wigan this season, I think
twice at Halliwell
at home, and they've been a lot. They've had a lot of games that have been televised.
Yeah,
I think if Wigan click, and I think they still probably need Saints to be on a slightly off day. But I think Wigan, of the teams I've seen, if anybody, and this weekend's going to be an opportunity to see that up close.
The scary thing about that game was Jay Field wasn't on at the second half.
No.
Can you imagine what the score would have been if Jay Field had been on that broken defence?
Mate, it was too easy. It was too easy. And, we talk about, all season long, we've been talking about, Warrington and the lack of firepower, right? This is quite sobering, yeah? But the Warrington front line against Wigan, Mike Cooper, 89 metres, Joe Bullock, 85 metres, Rob Mulhern, 70 metres.
Yeah.
That ain't...
When you think of it, a centre's making 260 odd metres.
Yeah. It's not, it's not... I mean, don't get me wrong, Wigan's forwards didn't do many metres, but I think they just damaged us more. Yeah. And normally, you think about it as well, how often do Wigan do 7 offloads in a game? I think that says a lot about Wigan this season. The signings of the like of Mago. I mean, I know Kai Pearce-Paul is out, but he likes a good offload. Does Pearce-Paul? They do like an offload, Wigan, and all of a sudden they're doing that. The forwards.
Fair play. We said before the game we got one of those sneaky feelings that Warrington might just do it. I think probably that was a bit
foolish, but yeah. Hope as opposed to anything else.
Well, it's the hope that kills you, mate.
It is. It is.
But fair play to Wigan. He played us off the park.
Made it brilliant.
Played us off the park. You can't argue with it.
No. Wigan were outstanding. absolutely outstanding, and exploited the weaknesses that we know Warrington have got, and that is what I think in the after the game, Harry Smith was talking about the game plan. I think the only thing that hurt me more than the scoreline was seeing how happy Lee Briers was in the changing room at Wigan. That hurt.
No, you can't blame him for sticking two fingers up the club because he showed in the door after 25 years.
Absolutely. But what he's done for Wigan,
he was devastated when he was told he wasn't being kept on. So, fair play to him.
It's ironic, isn't it, that he's gone to Wigan and he's absolutely revolutionised their attacking play, and Warrington, are really, really struggling. Steve Carter's here saying that for him, I think Powell has no choice but to put the kids in, but I think they are a year or two early. But you say that, Steve, but St Helens have done this year in, year out. They blooded the kids, and the kids have stood up to it and stood up to it well.
Look at Connor Wrench had a great game the other week against Huddersfield, was it?
Yeah.
Putting the reserves, runs right.
I mean, again, in this bit, bringing George. Well, I get it; he's the marquee signing and all the rest, but he's not in marquee form. And I think for me, sometimes it'd be sobering for the likes of George Williams. Yeah, you can play, but you're going to start on the bench because we're not changing a winning team. How many times in sport do we hear that?
I was taking the mickey out of Matauti a little bit there, but him and Riley Dean against Huddersfield was superb.
We're out of this world, yeah.
It was Matauti's best performance by a country mile in a Warrington shirt. And what happens? It's a message to players like George Williams that you can't just walk back in, and that's where coaches fall down sometimes.
That's where coaches lose the job, mate. That's where coaches lose the job. For me, I think, like I've said all along, you've got to give Powell 2 seasons minimum. I think there's going to be a lot of ins and outs. But as a Warrington supporter and any Warrington fan that's watching, this is going to be a hard season. It's going to be tough. And this is where, supporters show the mettle because, fair play to Leeds. Leeds this season haven't been great, but been getting over 10,000 in every single game supporting the side. You can't knock it. And, humility in defeat is a good thing. You support your team no matter what. That's what you do. Over to this one, Saints and the Red Devils. This was a bit of a surprise again. We saw Salford against Wigan come very, very close. And again, in this one, Saints were worried. There's no doubt about it. They had Saints rattled. Saints had a lot of sin bins in this game, as I recall.
Yeah, they did. Yeah. Again, the week before a semi-final, so can we read something into that? But they fielded a fairly strong side.
Yeah, but you say, can you read something into it? They've had sin bins. They put it. I think didn't Welsby get 2 yellows in this game?
Yeah.
Welsby who got 2 yellows.
Yeah, I think it was.
I'm sure he did. Welsby got 2 yellows. I don't know what's going on with the link there. Here we go. But yeah, he got 2 yellows. So he put himself at risk for the semi-final. But yeah, look, here we go. St Helens, off they go. Lovely from Walmsley there, Welsby as well. Just a bit too long. Not quite sure what that one was for. Do you know what that one was for?
Not a clue.
No, let's have a look at that again. Every time I was hoping you could tell me, because when I first watched this, I'm thinking, what has he got?
I've seen it a few times. Is it for pulling back?
No, I don't see anything.
I think he did it for being pulled back.
Did he?
It's Chris Kendall, mate. It could have been Freddie.
But yeah, it could have been. It could have been. Let's have one more look.
Saints playing a hard stare.
Can anybody who's watching, can you help us out?
It pulls him back there. It pulls him back there. I think that's what it is.
That's not a pullback.
I think that's what it's for, though, mate.
No. Well, if it is, I think that's an absolute shocker. No, that's not a yellow card.
But it's Chris Kendall.
It is Chris Kendall. He is a rule unto himself. He's our
the mind goggles.
But this was nice. Escaré. That's what that's Escaré all over, isn't it? That's what he can do. Lovely turn of pace, and Salford at the front, which caught a lot of people off guard. Didn't last long though. In they come. The Saints hitting back with who was that? Was it Davies? Wasn't it? Davies.
Yeah.
New one on me, that one. But yeah, one of the kids in it that they brought in.
I think sure Saints fans will tell us, but I think he's playing instead of Dodd.
Yeah. I think he's in the halves, isn't he? No, because they put Welsby up there, didn't they? Didn't he put Welsby up there?
He might well be in for Dodd.
Yeah, he's probably taking Dodd's place. This was a nice try as well.
Yeah,
nice try. And at this point, Salford, at this point, Salford, like against Wigan, they're in the arm wrestle. And here they go again. I mean, that was, to be fair, he was slipping. It's one of those that you feel a little bit for Percival. It is a yellow. It is a yellow by the letter of the law.
Yeah,
but he's on his way down, mate. He's on his way down.
He's fallen backwards. And he's come over the top of him. In fact, if anything, he's fell over him as he's fallen.
Yeah.
And that's caused him to hit him around the head. It's somebody else.
Davies played. Davies plays right. Davies played right centre for Conrad Hall. Yeah. Right. Yeah. And I think again, it's fair play to Saints, showed a lot of respect at 10-0. That's what I mean. They were rattled. They took 2 conversions to get to 14-10 and to finish the game off. And you've got to give credit to Salford these last couple of weeks. They've really, mate, on another day. Great. To be fair, this is why probably Morgan Knowles got in the team of the week. And to be fair to Knowles, I've got no argument there. It's a great tackle. It's a match-winning tackle.
Yeah. Although, did he get a yellow for that?
He did, yeah. Quite rightly so. And again, that's it's professionalism. You can call it what you will.
Who's Kendall looking at there? He just waves a card in the air and.
But no, I mean, it was for me. It was a bad, and he's an absolute professional foul, no question about it.
A clear yellow.
Actually, I don't think he got a yellow. I don't think he got a yellow.
He gave somebody a yellow.
Yeah, he gave Percival a yellow, and he gave Welsby too.
There, he was waving the yellow in the air again.
I think it was for Welsby for some reason. Again, I don't know if it was mistaken identity.
A guy lying on the floor after a tackle, and he sending somebody off.
Well, I don't know. But I don't. Again, if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. But I don't think Morgan Knowles got a yellow for that. Again, if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. Somebody, if we've got a Saints fan watching, then by all means put us right on that. But I don't think Morgan Knowles got a yellow, mate. I really don't.
Should have done.
Should have done, but I don't think he did, which is interesting. Right, we then go to the 2 remaining games, and the first one, an in-form Castleford Tigers head off to Catalan. We felt this was going to be a tighter game than it actually was, but credit to Tyrone May in this game, absolutely superb. Superb. Absolutely brilliant. We said when they bought him from Penrith, this is a player. He is a player, the lad. And I thought him and Mitchell Pearce, and we know Drinkwater's going to be out. Well, I'll tell you, there's no issues here with this partnership. No issues at all.
Not at all. No.
They're going to be fine.
In fact, I think Drinkwater might be a little bit concerned.
I think the fact that Tyrone May is, here he goes. I think the fact that that's poor from Watts, really poor from Watts. But look at that, great breaks. And there's Pearce on his shoulder. Fantastic. Really, really good telepathy there. Yeah,
can read the game well.
Absolutely.
Again. Put it simply, mate.
And Tyrone May goes in for his try.
Fair play to him. He looks like he should be riding a motorbike in chips, Tyrone May, doesn't he?
Punch. Oh, mate, you're on fire.
I'm not going to tell him that, though.
No, I wouldn't tell him that either. That's a line. Puncherelli. Oh, what a gem. Oh, we're showing our age there, mate.
Well, there's
there's Mr. Legret, as the French say.
Scored a few tries this week, didn't he?
Yes, he did indeed. A hat-trick, no less. Very, very well played, of course, filling in for Dean Ware. And did a fine job. The young man. But here's May again. Look at him. Absolutely everything went through Tyrone May. Good strength there. We like Arthur Morg, don't we? We do like Arthur Morg.
He's a player, again.
He is a player.
Sam Tompkins is out of contract this year. I don't think there's any doubt that they'll offer him an extension. But Arthur Morg, he's a more than adequate replacement.
Morgs will play, mate, and certainly, there's many Super League teams that Arthur Morg would be first choice fullback, no question about it. But we all went. In fact, actually, the fans forum did actually go the Tigers for this 0-8. We both went Catalan 9-17. Gary.
I did like
with another try. Yeah, again, he's got good pace. The game was over at that point, but yeah, off he went. Tries. Yeah, he can indeed. He can indeed. And then, of course, the final try, I think it was the hat-trick try, wasn't it, for the young lad? Yes, it was. Yeah. Finishing off his hat-trick with 6 minutes to go. Catalan, with that performance, showing the teeth a little bit, showing the pedigree, showing glimpses of what made them so potent last year. Good evening to Linda Brown, Jim Gardner, Christine Hunt, Wickley Len. I think that's a new one. Good evening, Wickley. I don't think we've had you before, sir, in the nicest possible way. Sean Rowley as well is with us, so good evening to you as well. Join us every week. Where we review all the action courtesy of Betfred Super League YouTube channel, and we have lots of fun on the way as well.
Do you know if our friends from Wigan joined us that we were speaking to after the game?
No, I don't know. They haven't said hello yet, but of course we did put our hands up to a few of our Wigan brothers and sisters whilst we were down there, and yes, no, maybe they're just being smug. They don't really need to say much really after a 44-22 performance. But yeah. I mean, even Sky were downplaying their passion for that particular game. It was poor. It was poor from Warrington, but fantastic from a Wigan perspective. Really good performance. And then finally, Hull FC, we always say, Toulouse don't seem to be travelling on the road as well as they're performing at home. They'll be disappointed with this performance, but, all credit to Hull FC on this one. Really solid performance from Hull.
Probably Hull fans might agree with this. Probably threatening this for a while, Hull.
Yeah.
Toulouse probably again taking the lead.
Yeah.
Oh, baby. How many times have they done that this season?
And there's the lad, good finish from McIntosh. That I think that for me was probably my favourite wingers try of the weekend.
Yeah, but going back to Toulouse, how many games this season have they taken the lead in and not been able to capitalise on it?
They've been, to a point, they've been competitive to a point. Yeah. But when you look at Hull's team, they've got a great side.
Yeah,
they have got a good side, and I think that you look at and I'm not wishing to labour the point, but you look at Warrington this season. There's clearly holes in terms of size of pack, combinations, etc. But you look at the Hull team from top to bottom. They've got players.
They should be winning. They're in the top four.
They are. But for me,
maybe they're starting to gel.
But for me, should they be playing this weekend in the Challenge Cup semi-finals? These are the things that they'll be judged on. For me, they've got the players, they've got the firepower, they've got everything going for them. That was a good try. Great team try that. Really, really well taken, no doubt about it. But
this is a good try as well.
Yeah, again, there's Mr. Connor Wynn as well. I mean, look, he's got a good turn of pace, Connor Wynn. Yeah. He's got a good turn of pace.
I think the word is
deceptively quick. Yeah, and again, interesting, isn't it? But everything goes through Connor. Everything. You look at it. Whether he doesn't get the assist, but he's always involved somewhere.
Still not in the England squad.
Don't know. Well, I'll tell you, mate, I'm really looking forward to that England game. I'm really looking forward to it because I called I said that what do they call the All-Star team?
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah. I said last season I fancied him to beat the England side, and you know what? Having seen the squad again this year,
I think they'll beat him this year.
Win again. I do.
So
I genuinely do. I genuinely think that they'll beat them again. So all in all, that was the week that was. Interesting games. What we'll do now? Take a look at how they stand. This is the league table, and how they stand. And no surprises, of course. Saints continue at the top of the table with the second, and this is interesting, the second highest 4 in the league. Wigan Warriors now 288. This is a team last season who could not score for toffee. Currently the highest scorers in Super League this year. Saints defence absolutely exceptional after 11 games.
106 points.
It's frighteningly good.
10 points a game.
It's frighteningly good. Pauline Grook is with us, a Hull KR fan. Good evening, Pauline. Wigan very solid in second place. Then, of course, Catalan Dragons come in with 16 points. Then Hull FC, as we're rightly saying. Then the Giants drop in a little bit. then KR, then Warrington Wolves, then the Tigers. Rhinos now up to 7 points and have overtaken Salford and Wakefield. Suddenly a bit of order in the bottom three, maybe. I mean, I think we all said at the start of the season we fancied those to be the bottom three, and the way the season started, Wakefield and Salford were giving us things to consider, but unfortunately for Salford and Wakefield fans, that just seems to be taking shape, doesn't it?
I think I said Salford had finished ninth above Castleford.
Yeah. Actually, no, I think you did, didn't you?
Yeah.
I think I put Salford. I think I put Salford. That was my bottom three. I'm pretty certain that's where I ranked them.
I definitely ranked Wakefield second bottom. But I think Castleford and then Salford. Yeah. I mean, there's a long way to go.
There's a long way to go. A long way to go. Well, last week there was very little between. I mean, there was 10 points between us last week in the predictions. This is where it is. 11 points. 11 points for the Fans Forum this week just gone. That now takes the Fans Forum, you wonderful people, heard on social media that Toulouse might be exempt from relegation. They're pushing for that. I haven't seen that they're going to do that. And what Featherstone would have to say about that would be very, very interesting indeed. Whether that means that the one who finishes 13 goes down, but again, litigation, those type of things. Ooh, that's going to be a brave shout if that was to happen. But great shout though, Mike, I have to say.
Yeah, do you know what? There would be so much trouble if that were to be the case.
Yeah, I agree.
If they were to promote the top two from the Championship and make it a 14-team division, then fair play. But you can't suddenly, 11 games into a season, suddenly turn around and change the rules. It's up to Toulouse to come up to the level of Super League. They didn't do that for Lee.
No.
So why do it for Toulouse?
It's always to grow the sport, but I'm sorry, there's Cumbria to grow the sport.
Yeah.
You know, we don't see any charity being given to Cumbrian side. So
I'm sorry.
No.
I'm sorry, no. It's up to a team to come up to if we're into the bottom of the league and looking at relegation, I wouldn't suddenly turn around and say, oh no, we can't have relegation this season. They deserve it.
No, you're right.
They deserve to go down. If they're not good enough to get enough points to stay in the division, then they deserve to go down as far as I'm concerned. And that might be harsh. It's reality. Look at Everton.
It's true. Yeah.
Everton find themselves in the bottom three. They're not suddenly crying that they shouldn't be relegated.
So you're now talking football. What on earth? But I agree. It is the same. It is the same.
It's an unexpected thing that you get relegated if you're not good enough to stay in the division.
Right. Let's do this, Reggie. So it's time for Team of the Week. For those who tuned in last week, you know this is Greg's favourite 2.5 minutes of the week. He does enjoy a good Team of the Week. And last week, he actually mentioned to my good self that perhaps Spandau Ballet should be a theme for this week's Team of the Week. So there's just a little bit of sprinkling of Spandau in this week's Team of the Week.
It's a sprinkling of Spandau, sir.
No, a little bit of a sprinkling. I get the odd nod to Spandau Ballet in this week's Team of the Week. So here we go. This is, as always, controversy galore. Who's made our Team of the Week this week? Well, let's go and find out. Here we go. It's the Super League Raw Team of the Week for round number 11. And here we go again. And at fullback, it's Arthur Morg of the Catalan Dragons. A try, 6 goals. Oh, he tamed the Tigers. It was like watching Roger Moore in Octopussy all over again. Well done, sir. Superb. At number 2, it will be Bevan French of the Wigan Warriors. Started off on the wing with a great try and an assist to boot. 128 metres. Finished the game at fullback. Mr. French will, of course, deputise should Mr. Field be out for any length of time. And number 3, it's Connor Wynne of Hull FC. 3 tries, 176 metres. He was here, he was there, he was everywhere. Oh, it's true. Fantastic performance by Connor Wynne. At number 4, oh, monsieur, it's Mathieu Leglaire of the Catalan Dragons. 3 tries, 117 metres. Deputising for Dean Ware. It really doesn't matter. Phenomenal performance. Well done to Mathieu. And at number 5, it's Darnell McIntosh. Yes, it was raining hat-tricks this weekend, as well as an assist. His 100th Super League appearance and perhaps one of the best performances of his career. At number 6 at standoff, it is Tyrone May of the Catalan Dragons. He can play in a variety of positions, but he had a stellar game this week against the Castleford Tigers. 4 assists, 1 try. Well done, sir. Well done. At number 7, Theo Farge of Huddersfield Giants, the marquee signing of Huddersfield this close season. 3 assists, all 3 tries set up by Mr. Farge. A fantastic display. Superb. In fact, you could say gold. At number 8, Alex Wormsley of St. Helens. Yes, Big Al was back. 120 metres. Oh, they were needed in a very tight affair against the Salford Red Devils. Oh, he needs a big game on the weekend, doesn't he? I'm sure he will oblige. At number 9, it's Brad Dwyer of Leeds Rhinos. Great in defence, but it's those little dummy runs. He's a cheeky little chappy, isn't he just? Fantastic display. Well done to Brad as they absolutely destroyed the Robins at Headingley. At number 10, it's Lee Gisau. Oh, if there was a barricade, he would run right through it. 6 tackle bust, 28 tackles in defence. Mr. Sow of 142 metres. Outstanding display. Quality! At number 11, oh, it's Twinkle Toes himself, Mr. Liam Farrell. Not since Strictly Come Dancing last year have we seen footwork like it against the Warrington Wolves. Oh, is there anything that this boy can't do? We don't think so. Well done, Mr. Farrell, staying in our second row this week. And then at number 12 is Manu Mayo of Hull FC. Another great display, 170 metres from the second row and an assist to boot. It's great to see a new name in our second row this week. And at number 13, yes, it had to be Lou Yates of the Huddersfield Giants. Another great try for Mr. Yates. He's having a great season, 118 metres. Him and Mr. Westerman really battling it out for our team of the year at the end of the season. Ladies and gentlemen, your team of the week for round number 11. Round number 11, team of the week. There it is. Reggie's happy. Another splendid addition to the back catalogue of team of the weeks. There he is, giggling away. Quality.
Oh, to cut a long story short, mate, that was good. Roger Moore staying with the Tigers. Mate.
It's a pussy when he's in the jungle and the tiger comes out.
Next week, James Bond.
Next week, yeah, James Bond. Oh, there's a challenge. Outstanding. Gotta do that. Oh, how many nods to James Bond can I get in? But anyway, outstanding stuff. But yeah, no, do you know what? Catalan Hull dominating it really. A couple of weeks in there for good measure as well. Wormsley back, 120 metres, big metres from Big Al.
Liam Farrell, names that are consistently there.
Mate, Farrell, mate, it's hard to budge him. It's hard to budge him. He's having a. I mean, for me at the moment, he's nailed on for Dream Team. Nailed on.
You genuinely never see him have a bad game.
No, incredible player.
Yeah,
incredible player. And I was pleased for Connor Wynn. You know, Connor Wynn took his tries really well. You know, what a way to mark your 100th Super League game. Darnell McIntosh, take a bow. A great performance from Darnell McIntosh for Hull FC this weekend. But yeah, I mean, a lot of new names there. Morg's first hit out this season in that team of the week. French, Wynn, Legret, I love that. McIntosh, May, Farge.
Is that the first time Theo Farge has been in there as well?
I think it's the first time we've seen Farge this year.
Brad Dwyer as well.
No, he's backed up. He was in last week. Yeah, he's gone 2 weeks on the spin. I think we've had Lee Gisau. I think Lee Gisau was in when he played the second row. As we call
early in the season.
And I think it's so quite a lot of new debutants in the team of the week. But we stand by it. So yeah, you know, just a few minutes to go. Challenge Cup weekend, 2 massive games, and of course the Women's Challenge Cup final. All of them being aired on the BBC. It kicks off. Yeah, in terms of Saints Wigan, they've gone head to head already this season. It was a Saints domination. What's your thoughts on this one? It's Wigan need a big performance there, don't they?
I think it depends on the fitness of Jay Field, if I'm being honest.
Yeah.
Do you know what? I could see Wigan winning that. I really could see Wigan winning that.
I mean, obviously Saints won it last year, but they've been, they've been pretenders to the Challenge Cup for a long, long time, haven't they? And obviously, last year they nailed it. I think for me, it's a game that can almost define a season, because if Saints win it, I mean, the league leaders is close. I mean, there's nothing in it. The top three at the minute, there's a long way still to go. The fact that we're through Easter, I mean, that's an interesting point. But yeah, I think this is, like I say, defining. Saints win this, whoever comes through the second semi, they'll be white hot favourites for the final. If Wigan win it, I think it changes the complexion of the season, because I think Wigan will take a lot of heart from that. Yeah, whether they go on in the final, I think if Wigan got to the final, as well as Wigan are playing, whoever come through, whether it be KR or Huddersfield, they give Wigan a game. I think they'll give Saints a game in the final. So, but I think it give Wigan a lot of heart in terms of the Super League itself, the Super League title, and Catalan. Give Catalan a lot of heart. I think it's a massive game.
Selfishly, I would. It would be better as a Warrington fan, for Saints to win it, because I think we play them. We play them all in the next 3 weeks. We've got Catalan away and Saints away, and then, getting close to that final, the minds might be elsewhere.
Yeah, because it's only a couple of. It's over. Isn't it? Is it the same weekend as the Jubilee? I
think it is. Is it end of May, beginning of June?
4th of June rings a bell.
Yeah, I'm sure.
4th of June. Yeah, 4th of June rings a bell. So yeah, it's around the time of the Jubilee, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, I think, just get a funny feeling that Wigan are going to win.
Oof, that's a big shout. I just want it to be tight. I
think St Helens are going to beat Leeds in the Women's Cup final. I think St Helens will.
Steve Wilson's delighted that 4 black and whites. That you can't say that. You said last week we can't say that. But
early birds.
Yeah, but Steve Wilson. Yeah, he's happy that 4 Hull FC players got in our team. But look, we're not biased. We call it as it is. That's it. They deserve to be in. They deserve to be in. That's why we have so many different loose forwards in our team. It's a wonderful thing. It's a wonderful thing.
Going back to that, I think if Wigan play like they did against us, Jay Field is fit. I think they'll win. I really do think they'll win.
There is, I have to say, based on the fact that, and you know what, I can't believe I'm saying this, but it's probably right. Based on how comfortable Wigan were looking against Warrington, a little red herring. Let's take Field out for the second half, because they could afford to. They could afford to.
Call that, Dave.
But they could afford to, mate, at that point. So we'll take Jay Field out of the second half against Warrington, which gives Saints that degree of, is he fit, is he not fit? And like you say, he then racks up and plays in the semi-final. Yeah, a little bit of gamesmanship. 28th of May is the final. Cheers, Steve. I knew it was over that bank holiday week. Yeah, 28th of May. An interesting game. And then, on the flip side of that, Hull KR taking on Huddersfield, and there's not going to be much in that either.
No, I fancy Hull KR for that. I think the Tony Smith factor.
I fancy Huddersfield.
Yeah,
I do. I think Huddersfield this season are playing some nice stuff. I think the fact that Farge is back and in the form that he showed in that game at the weekend, Farge.
I think the Tony Smith factor will see Hull KR through. He's been there, done it.
He's been there, he's done it. He's got the T-shirt.
Obviously, with Lachlan Coots out, that's a big miss.
And Sam Wood. No, Mikey Lewis, Frankie Holton's out. So, they're going to be missing. They're going to be missing some. Let's be fair, those 4 players that we've just spoke about this season have been on top form and mainstays.
I agree. They're not
going to be there. And
there
you go.
Like Wigan against Saints, I just think Hull KR are going to beat Huddersfield.
Surprise. Steve agrees that KR are going to go out. That's a surprise, Steve. Wouldn't have thought that from an FC fan. But he's giving it a bit of context. He has said because there's a lot of key players out, and you bang on. There's some real key players that are out there for KR. Whereas
Tony Smith knows how to win in the cup.
Mate, he does. I mean, look what he did in the playoffs last year. Absolutely. But you know what? Let's hope that the winner is rugby league. Let's hope that the two really good semi-finals. We will have the highlights.
And the final. And
the ladies' final. Absolutely. Yes, absolutely. Yes, we may even try and show the highlights of that as well next week. Why not? Why not indeed? You know, show a bit of love, even though you know, this is very much the Super League show. But yeah, you know, we'll have a look at that. Obviously, next week as well, we'll take a view of the of round 12. We'll have a look at that, and perhaps what we might do next week, mate, is take a look at who we think who have been the top 3 imports of the season.
Okay. Is that new to the league this season?
Yeah, to the league. So probably talking the Aussies there, the top 3 incoming Aussies. That'll be a difficult one to get a top 3. That could be interesting. And maybe our top 3. I'm trying to think a nice way of putting this. The top 3
maybe haven't performed as well as we thought they might.
You could do that. So we'll have a think about it. We'll have a couple of top 3s next week.
Yeah, without being disrespectful.
Without being disrespectful. We'll do glass half full and glass half empty. So we'll also look at maybe the top 3 players that have arrived this season. So before the season started, who, you know, Frankie, we just mentioned, for example, Frankie Alton. I don't know if he made the top 3 when I consider all of the players, but you know, players like the Frankie Altons of this world, you know, how do we see them this season and getting in there? So yeah, we'll take a look at that. We'll take a look at that as well. And if anybody's got any ideas in terms of what they want us to talk about next week, because we'll have a bit of time because we won't have as many highlights, we'll do that. But we'll try and create a very interesting show. The last time we did it, I think we picked our top 13 of the season so far. That's right, is what we did when it was Challenge Cup last time.
That was an interesting conversation.
It was a very good debate, as I recall. So we'll get into that debate. And if you would like to come along for the ride, if you'd like to come on and share your top 3, if you obviously you can post the comments when we're doing it, then by all means do get involved as we go through it. So that's another show wrapped up. We are going to look at the top performers of Super League. There's been a few changes as well after round 11 in terms of the top 3 in each category, and a change of tune because, of course, we've changed the tune of the show because we liked it. But air guitar does return in our final gambit. So Reggie, I'm sure that you'll wish all combatants of the Challenge Cup the very best of luck this weekend.
Yeah. But like you say, let's hope Rugby League's the winner.
Well, it needs to be. It needs to be the winner. Let's be absolutely honest about it. It needs to be. So, here we go. Let's go back onto the screen. Have a great week, everybody, and we will be back this time next week. Here are the top performers of the Super League thus far. Enjoy.